Hello there everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and we're here today to talk about the things I bought during the Sephora VIB sale that just ended or is going on. I think it's going on to the 11th, I think, so maybe it's still going on. This is a sale that doesn't usually do anything for me. It usually comes and goes without me even noticing. But this year, for some reason, there was just a lot of stuff that I either was going to buy anyway, I wanted to repurchase, samples I wanted in full size, and just different things that I felt I really, really wanted. The sale happened to go on, and I felt myself like this weird thing where I just wanted to just buy all the things I wanted. But I can't be the only one that does this. I placed separate orders because it felt like I wasn't spending that much money if each order was a small amount. I was trying to explain that to my boyfriend today, and he did not get it. He said it made no sense. But I was like, you know what? It makes sense to me. Okay, so let's jump into the video. These freaking earrings. I am a studs earring person all the way, but I wanted little hoops for so long, and I finally bought them. And now I feel like they're just like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like me. But anyway, the more important stuff is what I bought during the Sephora VIB sale. So what I went in the store to buy, I bought some of this in-store and some obviously online because it's in a box. I went in-store to buy this mascara from Hourglass. Let me wipe it off. It's all full of mascara smudges. It's the Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. I am wearing this today, and this is probably one of the best mascaras I've ever used. I don't feel the need to splurge on high-end mascara. I feel like, why do that? The drugstore makes some bomb mascaras. But this one was one I just felt so strongly about. I had to get it. I bought it in the full size. I've been really loving it a lot. And yeah, I think it's wonderful. It is very dry and sticky. I found that the full size isn't exactly the same as the mini. I loved the mini so much. This one I feel is more sticky. And I feel like if I'm not combing it on fast enough, they'll start sticking together. It'll clump up your lashes really good if you love that kind of look. But I feel like I have to brush it really quickly and then kind of like, I don't know, I can't go back for a second coat. Once you move on to your other eye, if you try to go back to the other one, it's already dry. But I really like this. You got to work a little quickly, but I don't regret that for a second. And since I was in there looking at the Hourglass stuff, I decided to buy one of these. This is a scattered light glitter eyeshadow. I got the shade Smoke. This is one of the things I've always wanted. I go in there, I look at them all the time. So there's a YouTuber out there named Karima Mckimmie. She is a goddess. And she used one of these in a video, and the image of her patting it on her lid stayed with me forever. I still think about it. It's like a weird thing in my head where I'm like, that eyeshadow, I must have it. I went in and swatched all of these. I walked back and forth. I'm sure they thought I was trying to steal something because I was just being weird. I was like, I don't need it. Don't get it. Don't get it. You need it. Carry it around and then put it back. And I kept doing that. And I finally just picked it up and put it in the basket. I took it to the register and I paid for it. Now it's mine. I don't regret it for a second. So it's called a glitter eyeshadow, but I don't really think these are all that glittery. None of them really seem to have like really obvious chunks of glitter. It seems to be just like a really nice cream eyeshadow with a little bit of like glimmer in it. I don't regret it. It looks great on the lids. It really like pow your eye look really easily. Like I wear this to work early in the morning and I show up with this super shimmer eyeshadow and I don't mind it. I think it's really nice. I'm glad I bought it and I don't regret it for a second. I want to buy them all now. I won't because they're expensive, but I was super happy with this and yeah, that was my second purchase. The other thing I bought in store was this palette from Kat Von D. This is the Lolita por Vida palette. I don't have the Lolita palette. I think about that palette all the time. The color scheme in that palette is just so beautiful. I always want to buy it, but I don't like Kat Von D's eyeshadow formula. I know. Why did I buy a palette if I don't like her formula? So maybe I put the palette away, but I had it here just now. Oh, it's right there. So I brought out the Monarch palette that she had a while back. That was one of my favorite palettes. But I always found the formula hard to work with. The mattes I thought were too pigmented, not blendable. They fall out everywhere. I just couldn't work with it. I decided to try it out again, and I was like, what the heck was I thinking? This is wonderful. I fell in love with it. I started bringing out my old Kat Von D palettes and was like, this formula is amazing. What was I thinking that it was hard to work with? So this had came out and I thought the color scheme in here was kind of boring. And I was like, that's a holiday palette. Like this looks kind of blah. But I kept thinking about it because I kept thinking about how wonderful the formula was that I just rediscovered. And when I was walking around, I saw this in store and I just immediately grabbed it and put it in my basket. I saw it in person. They had a display up like this. It wasn't all destroyed yet. And I was like, that is wonderful. I have to take it home. These are all great except that pressed glitter. I know it's kind of popular right now, this kind of thing, and I think it's disgusting. I hate this pressed glitter thing that's going on with eyeshadow palettes right now. I hate it. I just don't like it. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the way it wears. I don't like anything about a pressed glitter eyeshadow. This one included, unfortunately. Luckily, there's only one in there. This is so good. So it has what I see, little like a berry, a neutral, and like a warmer one here. Some mattes with the really pretty shimmers, a nice like special little eyeshadow shade. And this is really great. Every shadow I've used from here I've really loved. I haven't used everything yet, but I will swatch a few for you right now because why not? And I feel like these are just unexpectedly beautiful. Like a couple of these shades, when I put them on my lids, they're not what I thought they were going to be. They have like a nice little pops of, I don't know, I can't really describe it, but there's a few here. This one here is just so beautiful, stunning eyeshadow shade right there. I feel like that one goes on better on a bare lid, like with no primer eyeshadow or primer at all. I think it looks great. It's this one right here called Luna. I will swatch the glitter for you just in case there's any of you out there that want to buy this because of the glitter shade. It's not my preference, not my thing, but I'm going to swatch it here for you. It does look very pretty though. It's just not something I enjoy putting on. And I don't know, I just can't get the hang of it. I think it's gross. I don't know, that's just me. But anyway, super happy with this palette. Now that I swatched that glitter, it looks amazing. Of course it did. But anyway, super happy with this palette. I made a mess with that glitter. Let's wipe that up. And yep, super happy with it. Haven't used everything yet, but very happy to be back into Kat Von D's eyeshadows. What was I thinking? That they weren't good? I have no idea. And then the last thing I bought in store was this Sol de Janeiro Coco Cabana Cream. This is something I always wanted to repurchase. This is another thing that I used to hate. I used to hate this. I thought the smell of this was absolutely disgusting. I thought, why on earth did they make a disgusting scent like this? How gross. And I got 2 of these in subscription boxes, like the big ones here. I got a big one, then like the small sample size one. I had 2 of them, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to use that gross lotion now because I have it. The first time I put this on my body, I fell in love with it. The formula is different than the Bum Bum cream. This one is a little like gel-like, a little bit sticky, doesn't dry into your skin immediately, but the scent is overwhelmingly amazing. It's so good to me now. It's like cookies and coconut and deliciousness. It doesn't have that tropical sunscreeny vibe to it, which I think a lot of people describe this as tropical, and I always picture sunscreen when I think of a tropical scent. This is just so good. It's already empty. So, oh, so good. I used the rest of it this morning, and considering how fast I used this, I bought this on the first day of the sale. I don't remember what day it was. It was on the 1st, the 6th. I don't remember the first day. But I used this really quickly. Considering it was $20, I think the price per use is crazy with this stuff. I was glad to buy it again. I still love it as much as I do. I'm gonna miss not having this in the morning, but I got my Bath & Body Works lavender and honey lotion to tide me over because that stuff's great too. But I loved this a lot, but dang, I flew through it. But it was a joy to have it. I love it. Missed it already. And then the rest of this stuff I bought online. I kept placing one order at a time. Came home and there were 4 boxes at home, and my boyfriend was like, who bought some stuff? I was like, there's just one thing in each box, I swear. And there really was just one thing in each box. It was just one of those things I kept like thinking of one other thing to buy. So anyway, this was something I wanted because I got this little sample. It's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. This was so good. The Sephora Playbox last month was all foundations, literally foundation samples and a primer and then the setting spray, and that's it. And I fell in love with that sample that came in here, so I wanted to buy the full-size bottle. And I had already had it in my basket, and then it recommended the set to me, which was the same price as the full-size bottle. So I put everything back in here. Actually, when this came in the mail the other day, the foundation wasn't in the box. It was missing. So this just came in yesterday. I got the shade 22N Light Neutral. I can't remember the last time I bought a high-end foundation. I got the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Squeeze Tube one the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and then the Dr. Jart BB cream. Those are the only things I've ever bought high-end, and then this one. So it was so good. Then in the set, it came with the sponge I used this morning. I put it back in here for effect. The full-size like sponge that they make is incredible. This is so freaking good. It's squishy. It has a nice pointed tip so you can get like in the crevices of your nose, under your eyes. I've been loving this sponge so much. The set also comes with a 4-in-1 setting mist. Haven't used that yet. And then a little sample of the Quench Hydrating Primer, which I actually really enjoyed. It kind of reminded me of the Ciate primer. This one. The Ciate Hydrating Primer. Not scent-wise, but just like a nice, light, fluid, watery kind of primer. Liked it a lot. So super happy to get that set, especially at that value, and with this freaking great sponge. Awesome. And then I got the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. This is on clearance right now. And I don't own any of these big palettes. I have like the small $25 one. So holding this was kind of weird because I'm used to the little ones. But this is what it looks like. Haven't used it yet. Looking forward to using it. But the Kat Von D palettes just got me right now. So maybe this one I will use soon. But right now I have not touched it. Okay. And then there's something tickling me now. I got this little set called Softcore. Okay, it's from Nars, and I bought this because I just decluttered the Orgasm blush that I've had for 1,000 years, and I saw this little set that came with the blush. I was like, oh, I've been wanting to buy that anyway. I looked for Point Perks first. I was like, maybe they have it available in a little Point Perk. But this is Nars. I guess it's a collab with Studio 54 or a inspiration. I don't know. I don't really get this part because the products have nothing to do with it. They're products they already have. It's not like they changed the packaging or anything. But this came with a little mini Orgasm blush, which I haven't used yet, but I'm very excited to. And then a little tiny balm that's also in the shade Orgasm. It's Afterglow Lip Balm. I remember when this came out, I wanted to buy it because I just thought it sounded really good. And then I went in store to swatch it, and for some reason it didn't seem that good. You know what? Maybe it is now. I feel like when I swatched it, ooh, that's really pink. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't want pink lips just now. Now I have red irritated lips instead. Okay, moving on. I bought this again. This is the second one I bought of these. This is the Fenty Balm Baby 2. It has a highlighter in here that I don't love, but this freaking gloss in the shade Sweet Mouth is amazing. So good. It's not a permanent shade, it's a limited shade. So I had to buy this again just for the gloss. Is that dumb? It's okay if it's dumb. You can tell me. And then I got these Sephora cooling eye pads. I talked about these in another video. They're reusable little gels that have like freezy stuff. You put it in the fridge for 15 minutes or something. And then pull them out, put them on your eyes and let them depuff and cool and have fun stuff like that. There's something weird with the Sephora brand. Like they kind of revamped their line. And they do French first. There's always the French versions first and then English on the bottom. Same thing on the back. French first, English there, made in China. Why are they going out of their way to do some sort of French, elevated French thing and they're making them in China? I don't know. That's so dumb to me, but super excited to use these. I'm in a weird mood, if you couldn't tell. This haul is, I feel like I'm talking weird. I'm saying weird things. I got another Kat Von D palette. Since I discovered her eyeshadow formula is amazing, and I bought that palette, had to get this palette. This is something I've always wanted but never had a use for. And I feel like this is older packaging. Because I thought the Shade and Light eye palette came in a cardboard, like flat one. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I want it anyway. This is also in the clearance section on Sephora's website. And this is plastic. And here's the inside. I'm super happy to have this. I wanted it so bad for so long and I didn't have a use for it because I didn't like the eyeshadow formula. But now I think her formula is the bomb. So now I'm happy to have the palette. And then the last thing I got is a Bare Minerals 500 Point Perk. And I got this because I've been wanting to try this bronzer ever since it came out. And it's in this little set. It's a Endless Summer bronzer in the shade Warmth. And I've been wanting to try this. Not particularly this shade, but I've been wanting to try one of the Endless Summer bronzers. So it came with that. It came with Lashtopia mascara, a little Mineral Veil translucent, and then a Gen Nude lip something, and then another lipstick. So that is everything, my friends. I'm sorry I was in a weird mood in this video, but you know what? I don't know. Happens sometimes. So that is my Sephora haul with some first impressions, stuff like that. So let me know some stuff you bought at the Sephora VIB sale. If you bought anything, do you normally not care about it? I normally don't care about it. It usually comes and goes without me even noticing. This time was different. I just wanted to buy some stuff, and I don't regret it for a second. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you later in another one. Bye.